I mean, look at these numbers. We're near 40 degrees right now. This is in advance of what's coming our way. We'll be in the 20s by your evening drive. I got some snowflakes possible for the evening. Not a ton, but enough to where we could see a couple slick spots. I think our bigger concern today, though, is what brings the cold air in. We're near 40 right now. Got winds gusting already to about 30. There's 25 mile per hour gusts in Cleveland, 32 in Mansfield. So we've got some gusts. It's already a bit on the gusty side. Nothing compared to where it's going, though. Winds are going to be gusting over 40 miles per hour, maybe even as high as 50. I know only half of the counties are included in this advisory. Everybody needs to plan for wind, though. It's going to be windy for everybody today. And then what's behind the wind? Cold. I'm not talking winter storm warnings or advisories for us, but the cold and winter, it's going to come back in here this afternoon. Look at the numbers drop. By midday, lunchtime, we're near 40 degrees, dropping into the 20s. I think we're in the 20s by sunset for a lot of us. If not, we're back at least near freezing. Some spots really, really cooling off fast, especially the farther west you are. We'll keep it cold for a couple days. We'll talk about a rebound, though, coming up.
Okay, Trent, thank you. Now to an alarming and disturbing statistic as we enter the new year.
Very disturbing. 2021 saw a spike in carjackings, ending with the death of Cleveland police officer Shane Bartek. The Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Office says that carjackings were up 22% last year. There were 433 carjackings in the city of Cleveland in 2021. The FBI looked at criminal activity in 5 Midwestern cities, including Cleveland, and saw an uptick in both carjacking and car thefts.
And the reasons for those were all very similar. You know, adults that were driving this criminal behavior, getting juveniles to conduct the car thefts, you know, having those cars then, you know, resold or reused in criminal activity. And the same goes with carjackings.
The federal task force, Strike Force, is now focused on helping put the brakes on carjackings in Cleveland. Tonight, a vigil to honor Officer Shane Bartek will be held. He was shot and killed on New Year's Eve. The organization Black on Black Crime will gather at its headquarters for a short ceremony with many others, and then they're going to march to the 1st District Police Station for a program at 6 p.m. The community is invited to come and show their support.
And we're learning more information about the 18-year-old woman who was charged in the murder of Officer Bartek. Court records show Tamara McLeod had her first run-in with police when she was 14. Since then, she's been sentenced to probation 3 times for assault, domestic violence, and after cutting a deal in a case where investigators say she met up with a man from a dating site who was then robbed by 2 armed men. And last fall, Cleveland police accusing her of robbing a Cleveland pizza shop at gunpoint. But she was not arrested for that until after Officer Bartek was shot and killed. News 5 will continue to uncover new information about this case, still developing, and we'll bring you the latest both on air and online. Now, Cleveland police are searching for the drivers of 2 vehicles involved in a deadly hit-skip accident that claimed the life of a Cleveland mother of 2 young children. It happened less than a week ago. B.J. Berry can't believe he has lost his wife of 14 years, Mary Ann. Police say she was hit by a silver car here in the 5600 block of Storer Avenue just after 10 o'clock last Thursday night. Police say the driver stopped to check on her. Then the driver of a second car, a black sedan, also stopped at the scene, with both speeding away seconds later.
Terrible, terrible nightmares. Just thinking about it. And then going home and to my house knowing that she's not there.
Police are reviewing surveillance video, they say, from Storer Avenue businesses in the search for any leads. If you have any information about this case, you're asked to contact the Cleveland Police Department. 6:05, to a record that no one wanted to break, the Ohio Department of Health confirming to us that 708 new COVID-19 hospitalizations is a new daily record for the pandemic.
That record makes up part of more than 6,200 people currently hospitalized with COVID-19 across the state. Both hospitalizations and ICU admissions trending above the average. This comes just a couple of weeks after some government and medical leaders expressed hope that while the Omicron variant spread more quickly, it would not carry quite the punch. For hospital workers, the numbers reflect an even bigger strain on staffing since the pandemic began. But there are a few things we can do to help.
Anything you can do, from vaccinations to boosters to wearing masks, social distancing, following the guidelines of isolation and quarantine, really makes a difference and will have a huge impact in us being able to turn this tide on the COVID-19 pandemic.
Experts say most of the people hospitalized for the virus are unvaccinated.
We're also learning Ohio's testing positivity rate now sits at 30.5%. And we're getting new numbers from Summit County. During a 3-day testing event that happened there last week, it was a drive-through testing site. They say they did 2,300 tests and 54% were positive. We checked in with the Cleveland Clinic, and they say they're seeing a 45% positivity rate with the tests that they're doing and coming in. A doctor at the clinic tells us even though testing is hard to get, it really is a good idea to do.
You know, some people still get long COVID symptoms, and I think it's helpful to everybody if there's a document stating that they have tested positive for COVID at some point. That could be helpful in the future.
And there are likely more positive cases out there because thousands of people are using at-home testing kits, which aren't reported to health officials. Governor DeWine says that the main purpose of the at-home rapid test isn't to track cases, but to give people immediate information of their status.
Local school districts continue to make some changes as they return from winter break. Ravenna School is announcing that it's going remote starting on Monday. The district citing school absences, substitute availability, mask policy compliance, and just overall safety for staff and students. So that means students will be remote for 8 days and will come back the week of January 24th. And for Ohio colleges, Ohio University is requiring all students to take a COVID-19 test before they can return to campus this month. Faculty and staff are also encouraged to take a test before returning to campus activities.
The national average for gas is going down over the past few weeks, and now new reports from GasBuddy.com show they're increasing again here in Northeast Ohio in the last 24 hours. John Rudder joins us live this morning. And John, I understand even bigger increases could be coming for this year?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's true. The group just released its price predictions for 2022, and we spoke to them about major factors for price increases and when they might happen, but also how easily it could all change.
Right now, the average price for a gallon of regular gas in the greater Cleveland area is $3.07, with a national average at about $3.28, but it's quickly changing.
Anything that impacts supply and demand, global issues, OPEC oil production, U.S. oil production, U.S. refining capacity. There's a